Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it may be, in whatever part of the world you may be in. This is Dr. Don with another daily LightPoint. I decided to record my daily LightPoint today to wrap up the week by the ocean side. I'm back on the island of Grenada, supporting the island after Hurricane Beryl, and so I flew back again. There's more work to be done. And then I'll be headed back to the States again in a couple days. But I wanted to wrap up this conversation around wellness with a conversation about occupational wellness. You know, we've been talking a lot about mental, physical, spiritual, because those are the most common sort of trifecta elements of wellness. But there are many facets of wellness: social wellness, occupational or vocational wellness. I want to talk about occupational wellness because, of course, when we talk about leadership, we are exploring it through the lens of oftentimes our roles as professionals or in the scope of our occupation or the vocations that we choose. And I think it's important for us to navigate this conversation around wellness through all of the appropriate lenses, vocational being one that speaks to how in alignment are you with the vocation that you've chosen. How does it uplift you, empower you, help you feel purpose-driven, help you feel connected? Because a lot of times, just because we become really good at something doesn't mean that it strengthens us in a way that enables us to thrive in our roles, personally and professionally. Vocational wellness also talks about your capacity to balance the demands of your job or work with leisure. Now notice I don't say work-life balance, because vocation, your job, the path you've chosen professionally is your life, as much as moments that are leisurely, moments that are centered around family and friends. It's all part of your life. And vocational wellness seeks to validate how does your vocation uplift your life in a real and tangible way. And a lot of times that's a harder conversation for us to have because we rely on our vocations as a pathway to funding our lifestyles, as a pathway to supporting our families. So sometimes it's a harder conversation when we look up and say, am I vocationally or occupationally well? And the barometer by which we measure that, both in how we feel and what we experience when we go to work, is a little bit skewed because how much of our workplace culture impacts our perception of how well we are vocationally or professionally. In other words, how much the work we're doing actually connects to us feeling purpose-driven, feeling fulfilled in the work that we do. So a few tips to just help you navigate your occupational or vocational wellness. Now please understand, this isn't just in the context of work. When I say vocational or occupational wellness, I'm also speaking to all the pathways that lead you there, right? So your academic journey, your professional journey, even your retirement journey, right? Because your vocation that you've chosen isn't shaped by the organization within which you work. Means that the skills, the competencies, the experiences that you glean through your work can be carried with you, whether you're with one employer or not. So those barometers, or that measure of vocational wellness, I would start with, at the deepest core of yourself and what you experience each and every day when you wake up. Do you say to yourself, I'm excited about the work that's ahead of me? When I accomplish or complete a task relative to the vocation that I've chosen, I feel empowered. And when I say feel empowered, self-empowered, meaning because of the work that you're doing and because of the execution or completion of it, you feel self-empowered, you feel emboldened, whether someone had to pat you on the back or not. When you think about vocational wellness, do you ask yourself, I love reading and informing and educating myself about the vocation that I've chosen. I feel emboldened to think of new ideas and concepts as it relates to the work that I do. When you think about vocational wellness, at the deepest core of who you are as an individual, do you believe that it's in greater alignment with what you've set out to do and be in life in general? Doesn't have to be exact. It just has to be an examination of how does this experience and the path that I've chosen academically or professionally shape my life experience? And is it more positive than it is negative? That's where you can start to get a gauge on vocational wellness.